Create as many passive income streams as you can. I recorded my daughter laughing as a stock audio clip, and she makes that one clip. It's like 12 seconds long of her laughing. Um, Makes me, I think, about $30 a month just on that one little clip. I think I have in one library that's got like 12 clips, which is half audio and half video, over the last, 4 or 5 years, I guess, since 2015, has made about $4,500. So that's something that I did 2 shoots. I did a little audio shoot, I did one little video shoot, put them up online, hadn't even thought about it, and there's an extra $4,000, about $1,000 a year just on stuff. So had I have started that 10 years ago and had things growing, had audiences growing, and whatnot, there'd be, a lot more safety. But in my experience, it usually comes down to $1,000 or less a month that that kind of can become problematic or can put you into debt or not into debt. And so, if one income stream makes $200, one makes $100, you just think about how that can add up and just shave off that little bit of stress every month. But if there's anything you can think of for passive income, start it, get it going now, rather than waiting until you think you're going to need it. Right now, I've got stock stuff on Envato. I think it's videohive.net. I've got some audio and video there. So it's under Kevin Peeples, or kevinpeeples.com on there. So I went to a Jewish temple and filmed their Torah, and that gets me. I think I just made like $40 on Friday, just from people buying a few packs from it. And so it's just every little dollar counts. Sometimes you think, oh, if I'm not making $500 or $1,000 at it, like what's it worth? But $40 is a date night.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah, I can take my wife out to dinner because I did nothing. It was just sitting there online. And so that's just a little bit of extra money where you don't have to feel guilty about some of the things that usually can push you over the edge.
So without completely going into another whole subject, but that's actually something that we've kind of thought about as we shoot different things. So what do you do from a legal standpoint? Like, you just mentioned you went to like the synagogue and stuff like that. How do you manage like the legal side of that? Where it's like, do you have to get releases from everybody? Or even back to maybe when you shot some in the more commercial world, putting it in the contract, like what are some tips for people, like, as they're creating stuff, whether they're going out and shooting it specifically for stock or working on projects? Is there anything that you do on a legal side to make sure you can do that?
Yeah, most stock footage sites I've seen have a model release. So some of them are specific if you're using hands, some of them it's only faces. So find out which place that you are thinking about putting up stock footage first, and see if you need a model release for hands or just for faces. And so when I went to that synagogue, I had a model release and I had a location release, and just said, hey, we're not going to give you any compensation. It was a pretty basic one. I can find online. You guys could also message me, and I can provide you guys with that one. But it's just a simple, location release saying we've got permission to use this. It's a one-page deal, but it's clear that, hey, we're gonna possibly make money off of this. Nothing is owed to you. We're gonna use this in our projects, multiple projects, whatever it is. Give us permission to use it. And they were like, sure, as long as. One of the places was just like, how are you using this? And just being transparent that you're not trying to use something, especially if it's from a faith-based organization that might be, different religion or different belief system than where you're going to use it. We're not using their Torah in anything that's going to be, speaking poorly of them or anything like that. We're just using it generically to sell footage of a Torah, online. We actually needed a shot of Hebrew writing for a project, and so hey, I'll use it in this project, sell it as stock footage, and it's not going to be hurting you guys. So just being upfront and transparent. There was one synagogue we went to, and they were just like, since you're not really sure where you're going to use it, we don't really feel comfortable knowing where we're going to be. So they said no, and I went to another one and we got permission. So sometimes that no can teach you, okay, I need to prepare my answers, or I didn't think about that, or so sometimes saying, I don't know what I'm going to use it for, that might scare people off.
Right.
Rather than saying, hey, I'm going to use it here. I know we differ than you on this. We're not Jewish, but it's not going to speak badly. We're just, passionate about Hebrew, or we want to show people the Bible, and they're like, oh, cool. The stock footage sites want, nice, ungraded, flat things that people can kind of control and do what with. So the stuff, that I have of the Toro was shot in HD right before the big wave of like 4K cameras came out, so that was back in 15 or so whenever I put it up. And people are still buying it today, as of like last Friday, people are still buying it. So there's still a market out there for that. But if you've got 4K, just get the best quality image that you can, and if it fits what somebody needs, they're gonna buy it.